Death Watch.
Welcome back to Cradle of the World, a Pathfinder 1st Edition campaign by Death Watch Productions. I'm Brandon, the Game Master, and we will return to our heroes now, who are in a massive chamber with a statue of Tarcellus and about to be attacked by hordes of zombies. So, last session, they made it to this chamber that had the statue, and there were some pedestals that when Casimir stepped on it, it lit up the area, and then it revealed a door at the base of the statue that only he could see. And he went through it, pulled there by the soul of Tarcellus. And when he went through that door and disappeared, two massive hordes of zombies came running around the statue to attack the remaining heroes there. And that's where we'll pick back up. But first, we'll introduce our heroes, starting with Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm playing Casimir, hero of the rock, and I'm about ready to resurrect a god, hopefully.
I'm Travis. I play Graham, hero of the sea, and I'm ready to kill some zombie hordes.
I'm Justin, playing Rohan, hero of the sky, and I am about to teleport home.
And I'm John, playing Fenrith, hero of the flame, and I have no memory of this place.
Right. So Fenrith was not with us last session, so this will all be new to him. But I'll share the map. Wait a minute. What is this? Oh, I'll share the map with everybody here. There's Fenrith, and Rohan, and Graham. So you should all be seeing that map now. And then, so Fenrith, you should be able to see the map now. And basically, this is the area that you all got to after being after finishing up at least whatever that part of the area that you had been sent to by the gnome.
Let's call it what it is. We got gnomish abduction.
Yeah, and Graham had found a large demonic statue that shrank down and then merged with him like the gold had been doing. And at that point, the gnome's face had said, all right, that's the time is up now. And then put you all back where he found you. And, he had said at the time when he put you all back where he'd taken you from that, well done, you've paid enough of your debt to bring the principal down somewhat. And you've also done good deeds. You wouldn't believe the sorts of evil those people get up to. And then he had given you, he had cast some spell or put some effect on you all that made you extremely powerful for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. So you fought through there and ended up in this room here. So now Casimir's gone, and these massive horde of zombies have come pouring around each side of this statue. Now, on the map, you just see one large zombie, but that's the space they take up, and it's literally dozens and dozens of normal, human or elf-sized zombies. And these work the same as a swarm. So basically, they'll, if they're in your space, you'll take damage from them until enough damage has been done to, disperse the horde back into individual zombies. But so that's where we are, and that's where we'll pick it back up. So that was their movement coming around the side of those statues. And then Fenrith, that actually brings us to your turn. And so no buffs exist on anybody that don't exist on your characters right now. So that should give you an idea of the state of things. And as far as your spells, the ones that you did use, I marked them off, on your character sheet. So what you have on your list prepared, that's what you have. So your move.
All right, I will move forward 20 feet.
Okay.
and I will cast Blessing of Fervor. So with this blessing, call your allies to move forth and empower them to conquer and become victorious. So each round for the duration of the spell, each of your allies can choose one of the following bonuses for that round at the beginning of its turn. It's their choice. Either increase movement speed by 30 feet, stand up as a swift action without provoking an attack of opportunity, make one extra attack as part of a full attack action using your highest base attack bonus, gain a +2 bonus on attack rolls and a +2 dodge bonus on AC and reflex saves, cast a single spell of second level or lower as if it were an enlarge, extended, silent, or still spell, as the effects are not cumulative with similar effects, such as those provided by haste or speed weapon, nor do they actually grant an extra action. So you can't use it to cast a second spell or otherwise take an extra action in the round, and Blessing of Fervor does not stack with haste.
We'll see about that.
All right, so you cast that spell on them, and then for all of you, so that you can remember what your options are, I've created a public note that has that.
And if you let me know which one you want, I can add the effect, it looks like, through the spell. As I added the spell itself for right now, it'll last 14 rounds.
Okay. Yeah, so you step forward and cast that spell on your companions. Anything else for you?
Nope, that should be it for me.
All right, so Rohan, that brings us to you now.
All right, so I will start my armor flying, and I will move up 5 feet, and then target. Let's see, which one is closer to Graham? I guess they're about the same. I will target Zombie Horde 1.
Which effects do you want for your blessing?
Take the extra attack and do a full. I am targeting it right. Yeah, full attack action at Zombie Horde 1. So 5 arrows coming at it with my deadly aim on. I don't know if I. Okay, it looks like hit, automatic miss, hit, and hit. So 4 hits.
Correct. So these. Let me see. They had something special here.
So just visually, I'm trying to pick off individual targets and, headshot them one at a time.
Yeah. So I mean, at this, with the way that they're running and moving and milling about, it's like, fish in a barrel, basically. But
yeah. So 1,
they do
2,
they do
3,
take less damage from piercing
4.
weapons. But
Okay. Thank you for the fire arrows.
You're welcome.
Casimir. They will come in handy here. And so, yeah, that's going to be my turn.
okay. Yeah. So you just send a stream of arrows into that horde there, and zombies start falling and getting trampled by the others. And then let me see what happens.
Graham, you go all flurry of stabby.
That's staff of
I was
power.
thinking about, because I know I got to pick up that staff, and I'll probably just start launching
Fire.
Oh, I see.
fireballs. I have my necklace as well, but I think my first round will just be getting into a better position.
All right, Graham, your turn.
Yeah, so Casimir had dropped that staff of power, so I'll spend a move action to pick that up. I'll take the extra 30 feet to my speed blessing,
Okay.
and let's move to there.
These things are probably going to daisy zombie me and climb on each other to get to me no matter how high I fly.
Okay.
And that should be it for me.
All right. So yeah, you move over to there, and then let me check something real quick.
What level of fireball are those, Chris?
I believe they're heightened to 5th. There should be a note.
Now, Rohan, as far as you're flying, for whatever reason, I still haven't figured out why the elevation doesn't work on you guys, but it works on the
There is
enemy. So you'll just have to, remember.
Yeah, I'll keep it in mind.
Okay. All right. So, Graham, you pick up the Staff of Power and you dart over here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, Casimir, when you step through that door, everything goes white, and then you sort of lose track of, your existence, and you get that same vague sense of movement. And then suddenly the world comes back into focus, and you find yourself in a dark tunnel.
All right.
And so whatever, you don't know which direction it is, but it only goes in one direction, and you can see that it, it stretches on for, as far as your vision can see.
Okay. Yeah, I'll, man, I think I'll, oh man, it's one of those, like, do you trap the tomb of a god? I think you do, but I'll say that I'm in a bit of a hurry, so I won't worry about it, and I'll just start double moving down this hallway.
Okay.
Maybe I'll keep a passive eye open. Hopefully, if there is a trap, I might be able to catch it, but I'm more worried about getting to the end of this hallway where hopefully the tomb is.
Yeah. Okay.
This is everything that the staff power can do.
Okay.
And it should give bonuses too. I think it gives +2 luck bonus or dodge bonus to AC while wielding it. It's, best of my knowledge, a standard staff of power if you go looking for it.
Okay.
And I believe it's missing 1 charge.
Okay. So let me get this set up real quick. All right. Yeah. So you begin moving down that tunnel, and the whole way it's like, it does have a rounded ceiling to it, but basically it's like 10 feet wide and 10 feet tall.
All right.
But yeah, you can hustle on down that direction. The only sounds you're hearing are, the sounds of your own movement at this point. But yeah, so you move off that direction, and then zombie horde. Yeah, so this horde comes tearing towards you guys. Yeah, so then at this point, they sweep over you, both Casimir and Fenrith, Rohan and Fenrith here. So let me get this set up here. All right, so basically, this is, like I said, this works just like a swarm. So basically, anytime it's in an opponent's square, then that opponent will take damage. So this is just the press of dozens of, scratching, clawing, biting, flailing bodies. So
So are they pulling me down into the horde?
they're basically just like sweeping over you. They're not doing like a grapple thing right now.
Okay.
So, you still have your move. You can still move.
I think he was flying.
You're what, 5 feet up?
Yeah, I flew 5 feet up.
Yeah. So at this point, they'd still be able to
Okay.
On legs.
reach you. Let's see. So what do they have? Freeze them. Sheer form. Any creature whose space they occupy at the end of their turn. Okay. All right. So let me do their damage to you both. That'd be Rohan, Fenrith. And then, so let's see. These guys do. All right. So we'll do I don't know why it's rolling an attack. That's weird. That's not how that works.
Oh.
All right. And so the way these guys work is, if they do more than 25 points of damage, then we add 3d6 of slashing damage as a rend attack from additional pulling and tearing.
Get out of there, Fenrith.
And so they did that to Fenrith. So we'll do some rend damage here. Yeah, so this whole horde sweeps over you, and they're just biting and clawing and scratching and tearing. They're all doing this moan, this shriek, so it's extremely loud. It's hard to hear anything else. And then the second horde will come running around this way as well. And they don't quite reach you this time. And then Fenrith, that'll bring us to your turn.
So what does it take to actually move out of it?
You can just move out of it. They're not trying to grapple you or anything right now, like technically.
Be just like moving through a crowd.
How far do I actually go? Because from the way it looks right now, they're like to the front and the left of me. They're not actually on.
The little dot to your bottom right is where their space ends.
You see the yellow dot?
Okay. I'll move back to here,
Okay.
and I will cast Holy Word. So it's any non-good creature within the area, which is a 40-foot radius spread centered on me. So any non-good creature within the area of a Holy Word spell suffers the following ill effects: as either deafened, blinded, deafened, paralyzed, blinded, deafened, killed, paralyzed, blinded, and deafened. As the effects are cumulative and concurrent, a successful will save reduces or eliminates the effects. Creatures affected by multiple effects make only one will save and apply the result to all effects. And it's just hit die equivalent to my caster level. So if it's equal to caster level, then it's deafened up to caster level negative or -1, blinded, deafened up to caster level -5, paralyzed, blinded, deafened up to caster level -10 is killed, paralyzed, blinded, deafened.
Okay, so if you're gonna cast that, you would need to target Rohan because he's not good. And I mean, how would you know that, right? Have you ever done a
I don't.
detect alignment on him?
Nah, I just trust him to be good.
But you know what I can do though is tell you that you get like a almost like a something like a premonition or a sixth sense, whatever you want to call it, perhaps a nudge from Coralon that these enemies as they are now are beyond this spell.
Okay. So in that case, I will.
I mean, not only would you damage your companion, but with them all wrapped up in a horde like this, they've gone beyond the power and strength of just a normal zombie, and so this spell would be wasted on them. It's basically me being nice and telling you that their hit die is way higher than yours.
All right. So I will flame strike then on number 1.
Okay.
Why doesn't it? They won't let me target it.
Let me target them, but it was kind of weird when I did it. It brought like a little option menu up where I could either target it or Rohan. Is that new?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what
it
was
is.
happened to me
Oh,
last
okay.
week.
So that's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
But it did let me target it. I just had to click on
Yeah.
confirm the zombie horde.
And what it is because there's an extension, because if tokens are in the same space, then even I can't target the one I want to.
Right.
So this is one that'll bring up the options to allow me. So yeah, you've got them targeted and you're going to do flame strike.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't suppose that would actually hit both, would it? And it barely overlaps them, but I think I'd have to favor one or the other.
It's 10-foot radius. Let me check. Yeah, that...
I guess it depends on how
That would.
far out it actually extends. 'Cause I'm
No,
going
it would
off
hit
that
'em both.
yellow dot. Okay.
Yeah, it would hit them both. Okay. So this pillar of holy energy and fire comes down from the ceiling and slams into, large sections of both of these hordes. And
Thank you for not burning me alive
yeah,
Yet.
yet.
yeah, and does some. You can see some of those bodies turn to crisps and drop under the mass of the rest of them.
I was counting on you having fire resistance, Rohan.
We have something
why
better
don't
than
you
fire
have
resistance.
Fire resistance like I do.
Yeah.
Anything else for you, Fenrith?
With a cleric that can
No,
raise.
that should be it.
I can have fire resistance. I just need a round to be readied.
All right, Rohan, that'll bring us to you.
All right.
Now's your round.
So yeah, I'll move kind of up and back. So flying 5 feet higher to try and get out of their range as I continue to pump arrow after arrow at this zombie horde 1.
So which
Okay.
blessing do you want?
Same as before. We're going for as much damage as I can pump out. All right. Double check. Yep. Still tracking them. Still got deadly aim on. And the bonus attack. All right. So hit, and hit.
All right, so you're moving here, and then how high up are you?
I'm now 10 feet up.
Okay. Yeah, so you send some more arrows streaming in there, and so roll your damage.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Yeah, so a lot of those arrows end up, punching right through multiple zombies and dropping them at the same time. And so this group is getting smaller now as these these zombies trample the fallen ones as they rush forward.
I think we're almost ready for Raccoon City.
Yeah. Anything else for you?
Nope, that'll be it.
Okay.
So, yeah. Jump on to...
Graham, your move.
Okay, I'm going to cast Airwalk on myself from my Ring of Spell Storing, and I can climb the air at a 45-degree angle, so at half speed. So I'll take that speed boost again from that blessing, and I'll move back 20 feet, but I will also be 10 feet up in the air,
Okay.
and that ought to do it.
Okay.
Okay, last chance, Rohan. One more round, and the fireballs are coming.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I'm not sure if I'm reading it right, but it should be 10d6.
From that one?
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
caster level 15. You're going to be using its caster level. And then it's heightened to 5th, which is the saves, I
Okay, so I
believe.
do want to put it in the level 5 slot, but just change the damage.
No, that should change the saves, I believe, and some other stuff. But you're going to want to fake your intelligence, though, because it's going to use that. So you're going to need
From
to...
the saves.
Yeah, so if you're not meeting the at least a 13 intelligence, you're going to need to fake that because you need to be able to cast the spell, I believe. You might know better on your use magic
No, you're
device
right.
than me.
The staves, I think I do have to pick. I have a 14 intelligence.
Okay, so you should be good then. And then it uses your intelligence for the save.
And how high up in the air were you, Travis? 10?
I'm 10 feet high.
So I can do it for you. So why does Rohan have to be special?
Because I'm the one that can fly.
Okay. All right. So, and then what else were you doing, Graham? Just flying up there?
Yeah, standard action for casting from my Ring of Spell Storing, and then a move action. That's it.
Okay. All right. Then Casimir.
Done.
So it's still more tunnel for you.
All right. Yeah, I'll keep double moving.
Okay.
No reason to rush. Well, there might be a reason to rush. I did hear Horde coming. Am I feeling desperate, or is it all's good now type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, you feel good, like you're on the right path,
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep double moving then. I call that a jog in my head.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I shouldn't say I call it that. That's what I picture a double move to be. Right?
Yeah.
Because you figure you wouldn't stop and then start your second move. You just kind of keep going. Figure that'd be a jog.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin, for agreeing with me. I'm going to make sure I have another flame arrow ready for you.
Thank you. I'll continue to agree with you.
And haste.
Okay. So Rohan, you're flying through the use of your armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has 1 minute, so I should have 6 more rounds left because I flew to get over the wall earlier, too.
Okay. All right. So that's Casimir. And then it'll get to the zombies. Give me 1 second here. That's at level 3. So, Justin, you know how if you look in your actions list under Armor of the Sky, you've got fly set up there?
Mm-hmm.
Put that effect on you, the fly effect there.
All right. That's on target. The zombie. Target me. Just me. And fly. That work?
Yeah. And... Okay.
Is that why it won't let me go up in elevation, you think?
Yeah, it might be. No, there's just something special and wrong about you. Not sure what it is.
Been that way since I was born.
Came out, and the doctor is just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Guess he's gonna be okay.
It's a baby?
Do you want me to just set it over there? Oh, man. That dang Seinfeld episode with the ugly baby. Not saying that you're an ugly baby, Justin. You were just...
I probably was.
Nah, you just caused, like, massive indifference.
Yeah, that's probably... Yeah, I was an average baby. Nobody said, "Oh, he's so adorable." It's just,
Yeah, that's a baby.
It's a baby.
That said, though, seeing the old grandkid, I don't believe that for a second.
Okay, Fenrith, so that horde sweeps completely over, around, and on you. And so we'll do their damage here.
It's easy to forget like how cute Satara was when she was a baby.
Yeah.
But now you get to see it with her kid. You're like, oh.
Some of the stuff I did as a kid, if I hadn't been cute, I probably would have been an orphan.
Yeah, that's, well, not an orphan.
Or a ward of the state.
Yeah. No, I see where you're going with it. I was figuring that they would have just killed you if you weren't cute.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
This baby out of here.
My dad always threatened to just drop me off in the woods.
How far out the back does that does its range extend? Like if I made it to Rohan, would I still be in the horde?
No.
Because I'm just not very fast, unfortunately.
If you made it to the square that he's in, you'd be just outside of that.
Okay.
Is it unstable ground when moving through the horde, or is it just normal?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. It'd be like half movement to get out of there. But the second horde comes up here and rushes over as well. So now you've got two hordes on top of you.
How's he doing?
Just the way I like it.
Two hordes at one time.
So both of them have done 21 damage to you. And then
yeah, he's not doing good.
Fenrith, that'll bring us to you.
All right, so I'll click the haste boots.
Okay.
I'm trying to, because I know the staff power has levitate. I'm just wondering if Graham knows that.
Oh, man, I don't...
So getting to there isn't going to be enough?
Because I can cast it at close range.
Wouldn't you do, like, you're feeling out what's in it with your use magic device?
Well, I'm going to say...
No. If you got to there, you'd still be within both of them.
I'm going to try to activate it blindly.
Is haste giving me double speed, or
No,
is it
plus
giving
30.
me 30 feet? Okay.
Plus 30 to your normal speed.
So then I should be able to go to there.
So your normal speed's 20, and then you get haste, which is 30, so you'd have 50, but you're at half movement through here, so you get 25.
So I can make it with
Yeah,
one
you
movement
can.
still.
Yeah, right there next to, yep.
Okay. So I'll do that, and then I will cast Blade Barrier right around myself.
Okay.
Right around yourself?
I think it has a direction, like a facing, so...
Well, if he does it just around himself, then I would be in the blade barrier.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
No, it doesn't go up that high.
10 feet?
Well, how high are you?
10 feet?
You have one turn.
Well, it's 20 feet high, so I guess you're screwed, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, either form is 20 feet high, so.
I'll do it like this.
Thank you for not slaughtering me again.
Would it kill you, Justin?
It wouldn't kill me, but that thing would significantly chunk my life down.
Oh, you're fine. I think you got more hit points than I do. Yeah.
I think we could do it like that, right? The idea is I'm going to just stand in the middle of this thing if they keep coming back and let the blade barrier do the job.
Okay.
All right. So I think that it is within them. So there's some at the back, and I'm not sure how you want to do that. There's some at the back that would get the save to see which side they ended up on.
Well, no, I mean it's just one creature, so it's not separated. So
Yeah.
So in this case, because of, it says they can avoid it ending up on the side of their choice by making a successful reflex, and that's exactly what they'll try to do. So the Horde 2 is successful, but the Horde 1 is not. And so Horde 2 will basically just move out of it. And then Horde 1 won't. So go ahead and roll damage to Horde 1 there.
Ooh.
Okay.
Sparkly.
Yeah, so
That's force
these blades
damage.
spring up and start spinning around and slicing like, grass before a lawnmower. And essentially, this horde is destroyed. And when that happens, basically, it's broken up and becomes... So what's left then are 4 individual normal zombies.
The rest have been turned into prison meat hamburger.
And that should be it for me.
We were watching, me and my dad a while back, we were watching, was it Locked Up or whatever? And some prison cook was talking about meal loaf, which is where it's just a bunch of scraps basically with hamburger and baked.
Yeah.
And I was like, that doesn't look that bad. So we made it. It's really good.
Okay. Rohan, your turn.
Some of those cooks are exemplary at being able to make something from almost nothing. Continue floating another 5 feet higher.
So you're going to have to go a little higher or else they get cover.
Okay. So, yeah, then I guess I'll go up 20 feet and just take a single shot this round.
Okay.
Zombie Horde 2. Actually, no, they wouldn't get cover because of my special
Yeah,
ability. So,
nothing. Yeah.
No, okay. That works.
so, yeah, just 5 feet and then full attack.
I want to see a horde drop prone.
When you use your fly, how long does it last?
It lasts for 1 minute
Total?
total. Yeah.
Okay.
So I should have, after this round, I should have 5 rounds left.
Okay.
All right, so full attack with the... Why did it do that twice?
Who you
Oh, I'm
targeted?
still attacking me.
Mhm.
I'm still targeting me.
Don't attack yourself, please.
Yeah. Well, untarget you and then roll damage, and we'll see if it adds it to you or not. I don't think it should if you untarget you.
All right, so check. I'm just targeting Zombie Horde 2 now. And yeah, that one last attack.
It's a hit as well.
So it looks like I... All right, so going back through at Rohan. What's an automatic miss? Rohan.
So you
Okay,
got
Zombie was a hit.
3, 4.
Zombie was a hit.
So you got
Zombie was a hit.
5
5.
hits on the zombies. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Yeah. So another hail of arrows streaks in, and zombies, dropping like flies. The horde still remains. And Graham, it'll be your turn.
Okay, so I'll move 20 feet that way and a further 10 feet up. So I should be 20 feet off the ground. And I'll have to activate that staff of power blindly, but I'm going to cast Levitate from it onto Fenris.
Okay.
Let me give you that skill roll. Looking for 25 or better.
You got it.
Okay, so yeah, he should... I don't have a Levitate set up, so I can do that in the background if you'd like.
Because
But that
if
would
you
be
find
all-
this spell, you should be able to drag it to
Right, yeah.
your sheet, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm surprised that when you equip that staff, it didn't create an action for you.
I didn't actually equip it. It's Chris's staff. I just picked it up just now since he dropped it.
Do you want me to drag that into...
No, it's fine. All right, so you're levitating Fenrit there?
Yeah. I don't know if I move him or he moves him.
Well, he's just going straight up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
20 feet, I guess we'll move him up.
Okay.
Except that I want to do it in the most uncoordinated and balanced way possible, like start tumbling head over head. Or head
That
over
happens
heels,
really easy.
And then head goes into the blade barrier.
Yeah, if you start attacking or whatever, you
Start becoming...
start getting penalties, yeah.
Yeah.
It gets a little... But yeah, I will...
Yeah, it says allows you to move yourself or another creature or an object, so I guess you're in
So I
control
guess
of it.
I'm moving him up, yeah.
It's just so strange how I can...
Yeah, since it's unexpected, I'll have to try and, like the awkward balancing that you see when in any movie where somebody first learns they have the ability to fly or float.
Yeah.
Just waving my arms around, pinwheeling,
Oh, man.
legs flailing like I'm running.
John, put your mouse cursor over your token and hold down Alt and scroll with your mouse wheel. See if it...
So that was a level 11?
The staff?
Yeah.
Does that do anything?
15 caster level.
15.
I guess you might have been able to
It didn't
resist.
do
Try it
one.
again. Try it again.
Yeah, I guess if you're unwilling.
Do I need to
Oh, no.
select
No
myself
saving
or
throw.
just hover over?
Yeah, try to select yourself and do it.
So I'm just
All right,
very
fine.
slowly floating
Well,
upward. and
you
then
guys
just
just
goes
will have to
shooting
remember how
past
high
me.
you are and be honest about it, because I'm not going to remember. So, all right, and then
it shakes my token back and forth, kind of like
Yeah,
twerking.
yeah, I don't know why it's being stupid, but
I have that effect on him now. It should last 150 rounds.
Wait, you got
Okay.
the twerk effect on me for running. Dang it.
all right,
150 rounds.
and then
Graham, I never asked for this power.
anything else for you, Graham?
That's it.
Okay, Casimir. Now, this tunnel had begun taking a very gentle curve to it, almost imperceptible. But now, you reach a point where suddenly you can see a light at the end of it,
Uh-oh.
and you can feel wind on your skin.
All right. Yeah. I'll keep jogging.
Okay, so then at the end of your turn, you'll reach that light, and basically, it ends. This tunnel ends, and as you get to that point, you're looking out over a snowy, mountainous precipice.
All right.
Right.
8 charges left on the staff, by the way.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll go through my necklace first before.
Like, looks like I can recharge it.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
Well, in Graham fashion, I will deplete it for you if I have the opportunity.
yeah, there's like a whole section because they only have 10 charges now, but as long as you got a spell on the list, you can recharge 1 charge a day.
Okay. You said it was already missing 1.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, you're down to 8.
All right, so this zombie horde comes running this way, which I guess would be underneath you guys.
Is he going to start building up?
He's going to get chopped to pieces on his way there, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so roll the damage for that, Fenrith.
Sorry, I thought I had it targeted it. I'd selected the token.
I'll put it on there.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So, they get chopped to ribbons as they run through here. But basically, they rush over here and they start climbing up the statue, trying to be able to reach you. So, some of them are like climbing up the statue. The others are climbing up the others. And so by the end of their turn, they're about 5 feet below you two, below Fenrith. How high are you, Rohan?
I'm only 15 feet up, so
So they'll reach you.
yeah.
Okay.
Can I cast spells
On
with
your
this
turn.
without any penalty?
Yeah,
Graham,
it's
or
just melee and
okay.
ranged attacks. I mean, I guess if it's a touch range attack, that might still qualify as being disrupted by levitate. You can just shout out if you want me to move you down or up further.
All right, Rohan. So they reach high enough to start scratching and clawing at your feet.
Ooh. Just one away from the rend.
Yeah. And then Fenrith.
All right, I will. How long would it take you to put together a sheet for an elemental, Brandon? Is that something that you have any type of template for? Like a greater fire elemental?
Hang on. I might have. Yeah, no time at all. Go ahead. If you're wanting to summon something, go ahead and we'll make it work.
So, yeah, I'll cast Summon Monster 7 for a greater fire elemental.
Okay. Let me get that out there. So there's 4, 6, 7. And you wanted greater fire elemental. And put that out there. Where are you? And that's going to be friendly. And we'll use this here. And then I think if I... we'll go into notes. I think, so, it's set up, an extension that where I can add a cohort to your sheet and then you have control over them. So let me see if it works for this elemental here.
That is pretty nice.
And then if we add it from there onto the combat tracker, are you able to control it?
Where Where would it be, though?
Go into your notes section on your character sheet
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
and open that character sheet.
There he is.
And then, yeah. So anyway, I've got it on the combat tracker. And where would you want to summon it?
I'll put it right, maybe like right in that area. I'll just maybe on the other side because it's supposed to be like 36 feet long. This thing is.
Yeah,
pretty
so
large.
there you go. That's where you wanted it. Yeah, this is a huge elemental.
Go over here if we can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll put him over there. All right.
All right, and then it should get its action too, right?
Yeah, and would you summon it on the ground or what? These things can fly, so.
Yeah, it'll be up in the. Figure it'll be up in the air a little. Well, I guess how tall is it though? Yeah, we'll put it like 10 feet up. I guess.
Yeah, maybe they can't fly. They don't have a fly speed, so never mind. It can't fly.
Oh, all right. Then on the ground is fine.
Yeah, and then it would get its action. So.
Okay, so it'll do its full attack.
All right. Yeah, so it starts
What is the
punching
plus
fire
burn?
at the. So burn is a special ability it has, and that is if it deals fire damage on a successful hit, those affected must also succeed on a reflex save or catch fire, taking the listed damage for an additional 1d4 rounds at the start of its turn, or else they'll have to take a full round action to try and turn it off or whatever. So go into its spells, and it has burn, and so do the cast so that this thing can roll its reflex.
Oh, sorry. I think I hit it twice.
Well, it failed on both, so apply the effect to it, and so it'll burn for. Does it have a damage too? Burn.
It looks like 2d8 plus 7 each round.
Okay, so on its next turn, it'll roll that automatically. So you're good there.
That's a heck of a burn.
Yeah, well, it's a huge fire elemental. So, yep, there it is, 2d8 plus 7. Okay, anything else for you, Fenrith?
As I'll call out to Graham to.
20 feet higher, grab.
Yeah, but I'll do it. Who sings that? The Creed song? Is I'll do it like that though, so that you really hate me for it.
Hey, well, everybody loved you for a while.
Yeah, I think a lot of people love you but don't admit to it.
Yes.
All right, and then that'll bring us to Rohan.
So I'll go up another 5 feet to try and get out of the range of these things again, and then continue trying to pick off the ones that are grabbing at my feet. So yeah, full attack. Ooh, critical hit.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Looks like I got all 5 hits with 1 critical, so that should be the crit.
That did it. Yeah, so this hail of flame arrows goes shooting through and just chops all the rest of them down and kills that horde. And, just leaves a massive pile of rotting dead corpses on the floor.
I actually just shot the bottom one, and the rest of them tipped into
Yeah,
the
they
blade
all
barrier.
fell down, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so with that, everything goes suddenly very silent. And anything else for you, Rohan?
Nope.
Okay, Graham, that brings us to you.
Okay, I'll ask Fenrith if he still wants to go up.
No, down, please.
Okay, and I'll spend my move action, or one of them, to move him down 20 feet to the ground. And then I'll spend my other one to just move horizontally, close up ranks with the rest of these guys. And that ought to do it for me.
Okay.
Break the staff.
Yeah, Bloodtooth's probably losing his mind.
Oh, yeah, I
Using
forgot about that.
staff.
I think he's okay with magic items.
Just
He's
not
got
gnomish.
weapon envy.
Just weapon envy and gnomish.
He doesn't consider staves to be weapons.
That said, it can be used as a,
Right.
what is it, a +2 quarterstaff?
Yeah, that he would have a problem with.
Gotta be careful, he'll start stabbing you.
Soon he'll start getting envious when you split him in two and use the other one.
Yeah, why are you using your offhand more?
The Cain and Abel story played out.
Okay. So Graham, you move back over here with everybody else. That's within the blade barrier, so you got to take damage. Just kidding.
I think
Yeah.
I'm still above it, though, right? Even if I was over it.
Okay, and then that'll bring. Okay, so as you move over there, Graham, and you join up with these two, then everybody sees that door suddenly appear again, and then that'll bring us to Casimir. So Casimir, you're at the very edge, looking out at a drop of who knows how many miles. It's like you're at the very top of the mountain. I mean, you can see there's still some above you, but down below you see nothing but fog, clouds, and rocks, and mountainous terrain. But as you peek your head out, you see that about 10 feet away along the face of this cliff is another opening, and there's a tiny ledge that goes from where you're at to that opening.
All right.
Like 6 inches wide, maybe.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to use that ledge to get over there.
Okay.
Balance check or climb.
Acrobat.
Yeah, acrobatics.
All right. I should have. Sorry, I didn't roll that in the tower. But do you think I need to use a hero point?
1 second here.
Maybe I should just use it and re-roll. It was a 3. In the true words of Graham, it can't get much worse.
Yeah, you've got a 90% chance of it.
All right,
being
so
better.
for a surface, for crossing narrow surfaces, a surface 2 to 6 inches wide, the base DC is 15.
Okay, yeah.
And then let's look at the modifiers.
Oh, modifier. Let's see.
Let's see, lightly obstruct. No, it's not. No, not. It is slightly slippery because of the wet, so that'll add a 2.
All right.
It's not sloped. It's not unsteady.
Could be one of those gelatin mountains. Could be unsteady.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have an acrobatic feat?
No.
Okay. All right. So basically you're looking for a 15. Wait, what did I say? A 15.
It's 17.
You're looking for a 17. So
All right.
I would use a hero.
Okay, so I've marked it off. Did you fix it? Or is it still going to give me the error? Yeah, it gives me the error when I double click. There we go.
Okay. All right. So you you step out on this ledge there, and you're like hugging the wall, and wishing that you had some magical power to become part of the wall itself, as you slowly shuffle your way across. So that's like that's about a 10-foot trip you're going to take.
All right.
And so at your speed, you still reach that in this turn. You'll still reach that opening there.
All right. Do I got enough to look around or?
Yeah. So basically, you reach that opening and you get inside, and now you're looking at a tunnel that's going back the direction you came from.
All right.
And it looks to you like 100 feet up. It comes to an end and branches to both the left and the right.
Okay. Do I have any movement left, or is that?
No, that'd be it.
Okay.
So, and then Fenrith.
All right, I'm going to use one of my heals.
Okay.
The big pampa heels that are giant.
And then
I'll just ask the fire elemental to defend us. If anything comes around, we'll have a nice long talk about fire things. Or things that burn.
All right. Let's see. All right. And then, so that'll be its turn. And so it just looks around for a threat and doesn't find any. And Rohan, back to you.
All right. Do a perception, keep an ear out for anything else that might be in the area. So kind of a focused one.
Okay. All right. So you're listening around, looking around, and you don't detect any sounds that aren't coming from you or your companions.
Okay. And can I actually see the gate that Casimir went through now?
Yeah. You can see it on the map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody can see it now.
Yeah. I'll fly. Let's see. Do I have enough? Yeah. I'll fly down to just in front of it. Why does it keep there?
Okay.
And get prepared to go through once Fenrith is healed up a little bit.
All right. And then Graham.
Fenrith, did you want me to risk the healing rod on you?
Let me
been acting a little weird.
Yeah, just let me
Prepare
dismiss my blade barrier next turn.
Okay. But it'll take me a minute to get down there. I'm still airwalking. So I'll move up, say, 15 feet and 10 feet downward. So I should be 10 feet above the ground.
Okay.
And I guess with my standard action, I'll just keep that staff of power. I'll kind of point it around looking for a threat to come out. So I'll just, if any threat comes into my field of view, I'll launch a fireball at it.
Okay. Put a will save in the tower for me, Graham. All right. So, you go over there and you're 10 feet above and you're looking around for, in case the threat shows up. But then you get like this sensation like you've been, like some rope around your neck violently jerked you around and you find yourself staring back, to the south, but not at anything here, at something much further away, far distant. But you get a vision flash through your head of some impossibly dark, impossibly deep chasm in the ocean, and somehow you're suspended above this, looking down into the black, and something starts to rise. And before you actually can see it enough to describe it, you get the sense of ultimate terror washing over you, and then you're
Thing that should not be.
and then in a blink of an eye, it's gone, and you find yourself floating up in the air, staring off in the other direction. But
wow, I have a bad feeling.
It's like an indescribable terror has awakened.
anything else for you?
No, that and just readying to attack.
All right, Casimir. So you reach the end there where it branches left and right, and you can see that both ways it begins to curve inward, whichever direction you go.
Oh, in true hero fashion, I will take the right way.
Okay. All right, so for the rest of your turn, you walk in that direction, and it's got some pretty good, curve to it.
Okay.
And that'll be your turn. And then Fenrith.
I'll move up here next to Graham, that receives some healing rod treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the elemental will come out here, start
All right.
looking around. It'll take the form of a giant Rohan snake.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Fire Rohan snake.
Rohan.
I'm slightly confused why the fire elemental looks like me now. But I'll use a free action to ask, are we going after Casimir?
Can we go after? I thought we didn't see the door.
You do now.
Oh,
We do.
Yeah, everybody
yeah.
sees it now.
Yes, that part.
So we probably should. And the last time that we waited outside a door for him, the entire structure collapsed.
Good point.
Never
And
will.
I'll dive through the opening.
I'm out of here.
Rohan, so you decide on that course of action, but put a will save in the tower for me.
Oh,
I was hoping that instead of your vision, it was blood tooth
that's my worst
getting
one.
angry.
This healing has got to stop.
All right. So yeah, you decide you're going to go through the door, but then as if you were struck by some powerful blow in the head, you stop and your vision is swept to some distant place where time has a different meaning, and you're flying at impossible speeds over top a vast forest. And you quickly deduce, based on the speed, that no forest could possibly be this large, but you are sweeping over it nonetheless, and it looks beautiful and tranquil. And through the canopy, you can see all of the different creatures of all the different types that would call a forest like that home, and everything working as it should and living in harmony. But then you reach a point near what you guess might be the center, where everything is turned dark and black, and almost like lines of infection on a wound are stretching from the center of this, the center area, stretching out in all directions, spoiling everything that they touch as they march in all those directions. And you focus your vision on the very center of this black, spoiled, rotten area and sweep downward. You see what the cause of it is, but before you're actually able to process what it is your eyes are seeing, you're swept back to your body, and you stand there in front of that door. But instead of facing it now, you're facing to the right of it, like staring off in that direction. But anyway, so now you find yourself back in control of your body there. You're not sure what that was about.
Okay. Was that my whole turn, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just be kind of shaking my head and rubbing my eyes and trying to figure out what the heck just happened to me.
All right. And then Graham.
Okay, I'll descend the rest of the way down with one of my actions, and then hit Fenris with that obsidian wand.
Does it count as
Administer
a
the
jump
rod.
attack?
Right.
Yeah.
My magic device. Okay. That front. See what happens. We might be going on a different adventure.
That's what happens when you mess with gnomish magic.
Right. So yeah, we'll heal him a bit. This is the cursed wand, Brandon. What actually happens?
All right, let's see. Everything works as it should.
I guess everything's okay after all.
See, Graham,
to the
you
way it
just
should be.
needed confidence in yourself. That's all you were truly missing.
I had confidence in myself. It was the wand I was worried about.
As I'll rest my hand on his shoulder, smile,
Nod.
say, "My friend," and then just shake my head.
Okay.
Don't patronize me. Go running off into the darkness.
Stabbing.
It's my class that makes me this way.
Every rogue I've ever met.
I could have been the one rogue who wasn't like that.
You could have been worse. You could have been hiding up in the rafters all the time. Being super emo. But you're not. You're a happy-go-lucky rogue. Almost like a halfling.
Right.
Except taller.
A lot.
A lot taller. He's actually just two halflings standing on top of each other.
Okay, might be three. How they're like 3 foot tall, aren't they?
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm not 9 foot tall.
Yeah, you're like
it would
two
be
and a half.
Yeah.
You're like two tall ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, some good old tooks.
Okay.
After those adventure genes awoke in them.
Wasn't it the int water that made them grow?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, I was referring to the old tooks that could...
Like the historical ones
Yeah, was
that
it
would
like ride a
create
horse
a golf in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
But I guess they did grow in the whole
Yeah.
Merry and Pippin.
I heard somewhere that
All
traveling
right. then Casimir.
All right.
So when you finally make your circuit around, and you can see the tunnel from, if you had gone the other direction, they meet here in this perfect circle, and then where they meet is a large door set into the wall. This is one area where like the ceiling has been 10 feet high this entire trip, but then about this space of 20 feet at the end of the tunnels, then the ceiling gets much higher. So now you're looking at a door that's 10 feet wide and 20 feet tall, and it's made of adamantine, and it's got a just beautiful scroll work in it. No handle that you can see, but there is a place on the door, a rounded depression that looks to be about the perfect size for the orb of Tarsalis.
Watch me screw this up and the door becomes sentient, a sentient god now. Yeah, let's, I'll kind of jog up and see if that will work.
Yeah, so you find it from wherever you had it, and you place it in, and there's some force that pulls it in before you actually finish the movement, and then so it slides into that opening there with like a scrape, a little bit of a spark, and then some lights start moving from that center area along the rest of the door, following paths that you hadn't seen in the scroll work, right? A pattern that you hadn't detected, and then this split appears right down the middle, and it swings open, and then as it finally opens, you're looking at a small room with nothing in it. It's like perfectly symmetrical, perfectly square room, but there's nothing in it whatsoever. And on one wall, you can see that you can see through this one section that's about the size of a doorway, a little bigger, about 10 feet tall. But you can tell from this side that it's like a one-way wall. It's like illusory. If you were on the other side, you wouldn't see it.
Okay.
And right outside there is a tunnel that stretches out in a straight path until it opens up on the bright world outside. And then right on the other side of that illusion is a massive stone sarcophagus, which you recognize as having seen before.
All right.
So yeah, that's that. And then Fenrith, your move.
All right. I'd like to see if I can get myself with that healing rod one more time. If Graham doesn't have a death grip on it.
Yeah, you can take it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you have to come into the darkness where I am to get it.
He's going to walk up to you and tenderly take your hand. And then
What was
hit
that,
himself
cure
with the
critical?
rod.
Yes. Any cooperative effort usually ends up being a parody of the ghost pottery scene. So
Yep.
yes, we've done that many times.
And unfortunately, I can see ethereal, which means I can see the ghost.
Right. It's not just the lonely woman making pottery. Or
I guess
lonely rogue healing.
Yeah. I guess at the time he was alive, at least the first time.
Was it? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because I was, otherwise it would have been her and Whoopi.
Right.
Yeah, there were some scenes that when you really think about what's happening, start getting a little weird.
All right, so Fenrith, you're healing yourself with this
Yeah.
wand from Trev, or from Graham, and this is the onyx one.
Yep.
Okay.
This is the obsidian one.
Or red
rather.
obsidian, yeah.
That tricky one.
All right, Fenrith, roll a percentile dice in the tower for me when you use that wand. Okay, so yeah, it works as intended. Yeah, so you heal yourself for 30 points there, and so your wounds are starting to stitch together now, and you're feeling a little healthier.
I don't think I had myself targeted. I keep clicking on the tokens, but nothing popped up this time for me to choose.
All right, I'll put it on your sheet there. So
Thank you.
You just have 11 damage left. And
And then, can I dismiss the fire elemental? As it says, it's dismissible. All right, yeah. So I'll thank him for destroying the zombies. I know that it was him instead of Rohan, and bid him a fond, fiery farewell.
Okay. Yeah. So he bows to you and then twirls and disappears into a puff of smoke.
Puff of smoke that looks like Rohan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm beginning to think he's going to try and replace me. He found out that I'm not technically good, and now he has to replace me with a good version.
He
All
also
right.
wants to hang out with you.
The
but
only
you're always aloof.
good version is a fire version.
All right, Graham, that brings us to you.
Well, I suppose I'll go up here as I was busy and figure out what the holdup is. I know something happened with Rohan where he was going to dive in and you just reeled backwards. Was that because of your vision or did you impact on something?
No, it was my vision stopped me. So, yeah, I started to walk towards it and then went zombie-like and started staring off into the east as if I should head in that direction.
Did you want to hit with the wand for old time's sake?
to hit this?
Thank you, Graham, but no. I'll be all right.
Okay. I'll put it in my belt and just wait for us to be ready to make our move.
Okay. And then Casimir.
All right, through the illusionary wall, and I will set down my trident and see if I can open the sarcophagus, if I can reach it.
Yeah, you can. So, it moves very easily, and you push it open, and inside is the body of Tarcellus, not at all looking like dead or anything, perfectly preserved, and as striking and handsome and powerful as an elven deity would be expected to look in his full armor there. And so as soon as you push that open, then you hear this whooshing sound, and that soul just shoots through the air and slams right into Tarcellus's chest there. And then his eyes open. Okay. So Casimir, Tarcellus's eyes open, and then he sits up, but it's not like, when a person sits up, like he sits up and then rises into the air as if, he's not beholden to gravity. And then indeed he turns out not to be, because he just continues rising up through the stone. And then he's gone, right? Like up through the stone. But everybody at the same time gets this, bright flash in your vision, and then you can feel your head moving in a direction, and then you see Tarcellus, and he's rising through the stone of the mountain up to above the mountain, and then he's floating in the air up there. He seems impossibly large, and you all feel the ground begin to shake, and so that's what's going on now.
Crap, it is going to collapse on us again.
Don't worry, I can teleport out of here.
Yeah, we can too, as long as the ceiling doesn't crush us.
Yeah, we're all good.
So you can see that and see him up there, and you can see bits of it almost seems like lightning, but it's not. It has no blue to it. But shooting off of him and down, into and on and around the mountain. But you can also see where you are and what's going on in front of you. So Fenrith, it'll be your turn.
All right. I'll move up to where these other guys are at. And then I think I have enough to move through. So I'll try to move through.
Okay. Yep. So Fenrith walks through that door and disappears.
I don't see why it was so hard for you guys.
And then
The incompetence.
Rohan.
I'll follow him through.
Okay.
See if I have another vision.
All right. And then Graham.
Yep, I'll follow him through.
Okay.
Hesitate for a moment. What's this? An elf? Not gonna go where an elf goes? The Gimli speech. Not a speech, really, but
Elves don't belong in the sky.
A rogue won't go where a cleric will.
right.
Okay.
That's the one.
So yeah, you all walk through that door, and then you feel that by now familiar sensation of movement as a general idea, although you can't see anything or hear anything that would indicate you're moving, and you see nothing but bright white. And then when you find yourself aware again of where you are and what you're doing, you find that you are outside on a ledge. And this is a large ledge that looks like the way that it curves on the edge of it. It's clear that it was fashioned. Everything is way too smooth, but it is just normal stone. But you're standing there on this ledge looking out over the mountain range. And so you can't like see any place that's familiar to you. You're just looking down at snowy mountains and valleys and chasms and whatnot. But up above you, you see Tarcellus floating up there with these bits of energy shooting off of him down into the mountain. And Casimir's there too. And you find yourself, Casimir, with your companions there on this ledge. And you all get like as you look at Tarcellus, you get like a vision, whether you want to or not. It's like it sweeps you along with it. But these bits of energy are shooting down the mountain, and they're traveling through every single crevice, every tunnel, every hallway, every door, every opening, and everywhere they go, they come across these undead servants that had been captured and remade to protect the place, and they're utterly destroying them as they sweep through the place. And then you also get a vision of that central chamber that you had entered, where it was just a giant smooth shaft that descended down into blackness, and the city was down there. And now the reason the ground is shaking is because that city is rising slowly but steadily, rising from where it had come to rest down at the bottom of that shaft, and it's rising up towards its rightful place outside on the peak of the mountain. So as it rises, you can see that it's enormous. It's much bigger than you would have thought. And you can see that there's some sort of screw apparatus underneath it. And so it's doing this rotation as it rises. And so that's what you see. And the whole mountain is shaking enough that it seems like it's dangerous and that it's probably time to go. Then, let's see, that'll bring us. So Casimir, you're looking at that. You see all that. You have a bit of more insight into what exactly is going on, because you feel like a connection to Tarcellus. But he's been woken, but he has a brief time where he can expend the power to be here on the material plane. He's going to have to go wherever it is that gods go, but before he
Time to get
does
stuff done.
Yeah, he's intending to get the city back into its rightful place so that it can be inhabited
All right.
by snow elves again. But yeah, he doesn't he's not going to have spare attention to protect you lot from falling rocks or whatever might happen with how bad this mountain is shaking. So.
Are we within range of teleport like the hero house, or is it a little bit too far?
You probably aren't. Yeah,
Right.
you think based on where you are and the elevation and blah blah blah, you probably are not within teleport range. Well, I shouldn't say that. You may or may not be. You can't be sure. But But what is one thing is certain to all of you that have any touch on magic is that it's going wild here with Tarcellus doing this stuff, and it's like it seems to you that any spell you might cast could work, or that energy could be taken and used for Tarcellus's purpose. To great effect or disastrous effect, it's hard to say. But as you look out over those, over the mountains below, you do spot coming through the fog the 4 large flying birds heading your direction. So,
All right. I guess I'll move up and make ready for them. Hopefully, it's our rocks.
yeah.
Maybe even whistle. The whistles that are
okay.
rock rider whistles.
Yeah.
Help them out.
All right, yeah. So you blow that, and then you see immediately that they shift direction and start heading more directly for you. They've got to gain some elevation. They're below you, but they are now heading up towards you. So, and then, I mean, that's what's happening. The rest of you following Casimir's vision, you can see your rocks approaching. The mountain continues to shake. Not bad enough for you to lose your feet, but things are starting to fall now. Large chunks of stone, snow, ice is beginning to fall around you. So none of it's hitting you yet, but it definitely makes you feel like you don't want to stay.
I'll also warn them against magic use.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Beware. Tarcellus's presence is causing magic to run wild. I'd avoid using it if possible.
Okay. All right. So let me do a couple rolls here.
Is this where we all die?
Just trying to see if anybody gets hit by
And then you die.
falling mountains.
There are multiple falling mountains.
Okay. So here's what happens next. You're all waiting for your rocks to reach you so you can get out of here. The place is shaking like crazy and things are falling. But so far, nothing has fallen close enough to put any of you in danger. But it does occur to you as you're looking around that, like, this ledge you're on, there's nowhere to have reached it. Like, there's no tunnel in the mountain or doorway or anything. It's just a ledge out here. But when you look back towards the mountain face from which this ledge emanates, you can see roughly in the center there where a good place would be for, say, a doorway to reach this area. The snow and the ice is starting to melt extremely quickly, and steam is rising as it melts. And then when your rocks finally reach you and they land so that you can get out of there, you can see that a flow of lava has punched through the ice and the snow and moves in your direction. You're not in danger. You have plenty of time to get out of there. But as you mount your rocks and take flight, you can see that lava doesn't move fast in most circumstances anyway. So it's, slowly, marching towards the edge of that where it begins to fall off of the edge and, like a waterfall. But that lava, falls down where it hardens and, disappears into the mist and the clouds below. But on your rocks, you've got a better view of the mountains in general, and you can see that all around the peaks, there's mist and steam coming as the angry mountain has awoken and the lava begins to flow. However, it was designed to by Tarcellus. So that's what you see. So then it's easy to turn the rocks to the south, back towards home, and you sail through the cloudy skies on your way there. Once you've gotten a good mile or so away from the mountains, it's like you break through a wall into a blue sky. And, behind you is the mountain and the whole range covered in clouds. From out here, you can see what looks to be lightning striking everywhere all the time. And, obviously there's, rain and thunder, but now you're out of that effect into a clear blue sky, and you can see seemingly forever. A tiny dot below you far to the south is the home of the heroes and the village of Cradle. And so you're headed that direction when you spot off to the east, off to the west, you spot a couple things that are of great concern to you. One of which is from where you are, you can actually see at the very edge of your vision forms struggling against some sort of barrier right around the rock cliffs where the rocky landscape appeared, and where that all the dragons are. And the old man had told you they were trying to break through this barrier that's being held there by Coralon. That was the reason why Tarcellus needed to be awoken, is so Coralon could have some help with that barrier. Tarcellus is obviously putting his efforts into something else at the moment, and you do spot that some of those forms have broken through. They're not headed towards you or the village just yet. They're sort of circling around, probably trying to see if any of their companions will also break through, but some forms have broken through.
I'm going to use hand signal to signal to Casimir. Did we fail? Did we do something wrong? Because, from the way things are going, it looks like what we were trying to prevent is starting to happen.
I'll shake my head at Rohan. No, we are good.
So what do you do? You're too far away from the village to see any details about what's going on there. Obviously, there's, a foreign enemy attacking regularly, but from where you are, you might as well be looking at a still painting. You're not able to see any people or things there. And so that's the only thing of interest that you see is those dragon, or what you are pretty sure are dragons off to the west.
Do we want to split up? Send some people to monitor the dragon situation and others to check on the village?
Yeah, I'll hand signal. That sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
So, Casimir, it'll be your turn. Which one are you going to do? Which way are you going to go?
All right. 1 and 2, I'll head towards Cradle. 3 and 4, I'll head towards the dragons.
Okay. Fenrith, which direction are you going to go?
Go and protect the village.
Okay. And then Rohan, which direction are you going to go?
I'll scout out the dragons with Casimir.
And then Graham?
The village it is.
All right.
Throw me my staff of power.
Are you guys going to try to exchange that?
I mean, if he wants me to, I will.
Well, we had a little bit of time waiting for the rocks, right?
Yeah, that's true. I probably would have handed it right back.
Yeah, but you didn't say it, so it didn't happen.
No, that's fine. You can give it to me when I see you again next.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, you would have been able to make that trade.
Yeah, well, I would have been complaining. Well, sort of. You want this back now, Casimir? It's too heavy.
Just pickpocket it back into
I'm carrying a medium load.
The bag of Holden. Oh yeah, that's right. It's the one cell or fail safe I can rely on.
But yeah, I'll get behind Fenrith's rock and we'll head back that way.
Okay. So you guys do your conversation there, where you decide on those things and begin. You've just begun to sort of separate when you notice two things that might change your mind. One that you notice is that those forms that have broken through that barrier, which it's hard to see, it could be 2 of them or 3 of them. It's hard to tell. But they come to a landing on the rock cliffs over there. And so one of them, you can't see anymore. The other you can, but they're not moving. They're just, perched on the rocks there. Too far away for you to even be able to tell what color they are, but they are landed there. waiting to see if any of their companions will make it through. And the other is to the south, past the village, over the ocean. Massive storm is rolling in from the south, and you see the unmistakable form of an airship. Definitely one you have not seen before. It's enormous, and it's moving towards the village as well.
Enterprise.
I was going to say Dreadnought.
Right.
Or the Yamamoto.
Yeah. Well, the storm being over the sea definitely piques my interest. And I don't know if I can communicate my vision with the hand language to anybody other than Casimir. But I do know there's a source of great indescribable evil somewhere in the depths.
Oh, I don't plan to fight the dragons, just...
Scout it, right?
Yeah, so
that's the same idea I'm getting about this stormy area.
all right. So, do you want you and Finrith to
Check it out.
scout the ships while we scout the dragons, and then
Yeah.
head back to Cradle? All right. So I'll motion to Rohan in a simpler form of hand sign to just follow my lead, and hopefully we'll be back in Cradle soon.
Okay. And the rest of you gonna listen or just ignore him?
I'll pretend like I listened.
Swear to God, I have lightning bolt in this staff, Justin.
I think he's immune to lightning.
Yeah. You can lightning bolt me all you want.
Well, we'll see how immune you are.
Okay. So heading towards the village. Is that what I heard?
Mm-mm.
Everybody's doing?
No, they're doing the dragons. I'm going to do the airship probably with
Yeah.
Fenrith. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
tell them we should check that out
It's just scouting. We're not
before
actually
we go to the village. Yeah.
planning to engage. We're just going to scout and then head back towards Cradle. Make sure everything is.
Okay.
We'll get sucked into a boss.
Yeah, that's.
thing.
Well, it's like when you're flying around in 6, and
Yeah.
just all of a sudden you got to fight that poison esper.
All
does,
right.
does that exist in this
Yeah, I'll
world,
go with
Brandon?
What?
Graham.
If
Poison espers?
I climb high enough, will I encounter a boss?
Oh, no. Yeah. You leave the sphere and die
Oh,
of suffocation.
Uh,
What did you say, Fenrith?
Said I'll go with Graham if he's changing the plan.
Yeah, the idea is just to go get a closer look at what's going on over there before we go back to Cradle.
You're going to look at the airship?
Yeah.
You and Fenrith? Okay.
Yep, I did get that right. The storm and the airship are basically the same thing.
Yeah,
Right,
like
not
that airship is basically like just ahead of that storm. Yeah. And from time to time it slips back into it, but yeah. Okay. All right. So, we'll do with the scouts here of the dragons. So, Casimir and Rohan going to look at the dragons.
mhm.
All right. So, you get closer and closer, and finally, and you've got good elevation, and finally you can pick out some more details. So you see that there are, at least 24 dragons. They seem to be taking turns pressing against this barrier, and a lot of them don't seem to be giving it their best effort. There are 3 that you can be sure have made it to your side of the barrier, and that is 2 of them are white, and 1 of them is red, and the red is way bigger than the whites. But based on your knowledge, especially you, Rohan, you would guess that. The red's bigger than the white because reds are always bigger than whites. But trying to determine their age and strength.
I might actually have decent knowledge with Arcana.
Oh, okay.
That's like in Pathfinder, it's constructs, dragons, and magical beasts.
Okay. So let's have that. Let's have you roll your Arcanas.
There you go.
Yeah, don't have Arcana.
Oh, okay. Well,
I can,
Casimir sure as hell does.
I
So
can do nature.
Dragons are not natural.
Which is weird because in D&D they probably would be, right?
Yeah.
In fact, they'd probably be like one of the first creatures kind of
Yeah.
spun out into a world, right?
Well, it's
It's like
I think
Titans.
The distinction must be the same we have, where if it's humans or human born, then it's not natural. If it's anything else, it is natural, right?
All right. So then, Casimir, based on your knowledge as you're looking at these dragons, you would guess that the red is a where is that? I had him on here. Crying out loud. An adult.
Oh.
This red dragon is in adulthood. That makes it huge. In fact, with your role, you can tell this is a female.
Okay.
And the white dragons, based on your role, it seems to you like they might have been clutch mates because they look so alike. And they are, I have them on here somewhere. Those are also both adults,
Okay.
which that makes them large in size.
But yeah.
So pretty small. So compared. So that's what you see has broken through. And, the red is perched on the highest peak of the ones, of the higher than the other two who are also perched on peaks and watching behind them. Now, the barrier itself has some odd effect. It's hard to see through. It's like a filthy window almost, but, so you can see stuff that's close to it, but beyond, you just get like a vague sense of the landscape back there. But you do see there's a couple of dozen at least of different colors flying around out there. And from time to time, they'll breathe lightning at the barrier or fire or ice or whatever. It doesn't seem to be getting through, but some of them will, collide with it and almost, and basically land on it as if it were a wall, and they have spider climb. And they'll try to push their way through. And as you're watching that, you do see one of them gets partially through it. It gets its forelimbs through and a bit of its snout before it's pushed back out again. So that's what you see from here.
Okay.
They don't seem to notice you. The ones on your side of the barrier don't seem to take notice of you. You never see them move their heads in your direction.
Yeah, they don't care about us, or they are more focused on the barrier.
Right. Yeah. They don't seem to know you're there.
Do I know, chromatic dragons, like temperament? Is there reasoning with them? Could we bargain? Are they intelligent enough to even be bargained with?
Okay. Yeah. So based on your role, here's what I'll tell you about these dragons. The white dragons are not smart. In fact, in general,
Yeah.
especially compared to other dragons, they're like, based on that alone, they barely qualify to be dragons. They're not smart, compared to other dragons, but they are smart in general. So yeah, you could talk to them and they could understand you. And you could bargain with them. Like the white dragon, just to put it in, terms we can all understand, these adult white dragons have an intelligence of 12. So they're perfectly capable.
Above average.
Yeah. They're, and then the adult, red dragon is going to be, smarter than them.
Okay.
So you can count on them being able to understand what you're talking about, and you can count on them being able to understand what you're saying, things like that. Now, when it comes to like negotiating, everybody knows, and especially how much dragons love treasures of different types, things like that. So that you possibly could offer them something that they want. But in this case, like for example, for the adult red dragon, their intelligence is going to be a 16 and their wisdom is a 17. So they're, well above average in those, compared to humans and elves or whatever. So
especially my wisdom.
And so here's but another thing, about these type of dragons is that, the white ones especially are just absolutely rotten and hateful and spiteful. And, they would see the notion of negotiating with pathetic lower life form as just abhorrent.
Okay.
Even if they wanted what you had, they see no reason why they don't just kill you and take it. The same is true of the red. But another thing that gives you pause is that the idea of a red dragon doing what somebody else tells it is like unheard of. But here it is, waiting patiently for other dragons that it hates because they...
And its greedy nature
Yeah.
might have driven it normally to just start
Right.
reaping and raving.
Yeah. Why would it wait for all of the inferior dragons to get through? It's obviously the strongest of them all because it made it through. And it would keep the whites around so it can order them around because it can, and they're going to listen.
Yeah.
But something has made it stop and wait patiently. And if there's something that can make the red dragon do that, then it fears it more than it wants probably what you have.
Okay.
I mean, that's just basic thoughts you get about it.
Okay. With that, I'll hand signal to Rohan that we can start heading towards Cradle. I got what I needed.
Okay.
All right.
Now, Fenrith or Ron, did you want to do anything over here?
No, just wanted to scan and see if there were any other points where they were trying to get through, or if it was just the one. And so as we sail past, just make sure that they're not breaking through in a lot of different places.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like, my hand signaling would have been open-ended. Like, I have what I need. Do you got kind of like what you need? Or
Yeah, I'll signal, let's fly along the cliffs on our way back and keep an eye out for more.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So, but this area where you were witnessing this seems to be the only place they're bunching up and trying to break through.
Okay.
And this is the area pretty close to the tallest of the rock cliffs, which is pretty close to the coast. So,
Okay.
all right. Now, Fenrith and Graham, you're going to check out this airship, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you head back, south over the village towards the coming storm bank, and you see this ship, and then like the other airships you've seen are like, I mean, it's awesome because they're airships, and that's really cool, and they look big, and they had weapons on them, and obviously they're impressive. This is, this is like a great red worm next to a catapult. I mean, this thing is enormous, made clearly purpose built for war. It's got weapons seemingly on every available surface, and it's just unbelievably huge. And in fact, I can show you a picture of it here.
We need to get you into the engine room. It's a one-way mission, Graham. So don't worry.
Start breaking stuff.
Weapons OSP.
Mm-hmm. The commanding crew is sort of a ragtag group of special forces people with odd names.
Dude, no, we gotta be careful because we all know that's a pretty apt description of what heroes are.
Right.
So it's just human heroes coming over.
Yeah, let me actually get this set up here. This will work better. This will give you an idea of its scale a little better.
We probably could just rip the MSG 3-1. I think that fits most D&D characters pretty good. The fury, the pain, the end.
All right. And then let me get this.
I really do like that juxtaposition because with all the regular like rank and file soldier type stuff or weaponry, it's all like pretty accurate, you know, and then just off the rails with certain things. It's always neat.
Man, I was about to say, like, they're also fitting pretty good class archetype, right?
Yeah.
End would be your ranger, but the Fury uses a crossbow. So, like, could you have a barbarian use a bow? Like a mighty bow? I don't see why not,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That might be something I have to make now, though.
Crossbow barbarian.
Well, it'd be mighty composite. So that way you get that strength bonus.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll just make a map real quick and put you all on it and then share it so that you can see the scale of what this would actually look like. So I'll just get,
Yeah, from the barbarian standpoint, You remember the Scorpion King?
Mhm.
Yeah, he had a bow. He was sort of a barbarian,
Hmm.
and his bow was definitely a mighty composite longbow. That
Well, it's just like for raging. Like
Yeah.
I don't think you can use spells, and I think a bow attacks just like a sword for the purposes of how
Yeah.
much time. But I don't know. It's just one
So
of
could
the,
he not reload his crossbow?
yeah. You couldn't reload the crossbow,
yeah,
which is why it would have to be a bow
Yeah.
or rapid reload. Rapid reload could
Yeah.
do it.
yeah, a machine crossbow.
I don't even know the rules for Berserkin and Pathfinder. I don't know if they're different, but I seem to remember I think there were feats that allowed you to cast while raging for
Yeah.
like druid type or
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
said, Pathfinder takes I have a bulletproof shield, but I have bulletproof shield piercing thing to the next level
Mhm.
because I was just looking at Fireball, and they have augmented mythic fireballs which bypass fire resistance and fire immunity. So it's like, I'm sure that there is what you're saying, right?
yeah. Yeah, like I figure Rohan's immune to lightning, but if I electrocute him enough, he'll be like my phone battery
Yeah.
and he'll just pop.
All right. So I'll share this map with you here, and I've got you and your rocks on this map, so it'll give you a sense of the size of this.
Yeah, that's a good old airship right there.
So, and obviously, this is just the base airship. It actually has things and people moving on it, and it has what are clearly weapon emplacements on it, but this is just the basic. So that's what you see moving in toward Cradle from the south, Graham and Fenrith. And then also, Graham and Fenrith, roll a perception for me in the tower.
+2 for the goggles.
Special goggles.
Oh, I like that airship. It looks good.
Yeah.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Nice.
That's a lie.
Oh,
You know what it reminds me of is the crystal airship at the beginning of Final Fantasy
Yeah.
2.
mm.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Is there a Dark Knight on it?
Well, we'll see. So, also, Graham and Fenrith, as you were flying that way to check this thing out, you did spot down in the forest some groups of humans and constructs marching towards the village as well. So that's what you guys see. And then Rohan and Casimir, as you wheel back towards that village, you can see both your companions, and also you can see that airship. And from your distance, you don't get a good idea of the actual size, but it's obviously huge. And it's moving ahead of that storm bank. And Rohan, based on your knowledge of storms and weather, this is going to be something else, this storm coming in. And it's not going to reach the point of like hurricane or whatever. This is more just like it's going to rain, raindrops the size of wagons, and lightning is going to strike everywhere twice. That sort of a storm. But that's what you all see.
Okay. Yeah, I'll sign to Casimir. We need to find shelter before that storm hits us.
How long do we got?
Oh, like 6 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And then, so where would you all go from here?
I think the idea was to go back to the village, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Do a little
Back
bit of
to
scouting.
Cradle.
Head to Cradle.
Make a plan.
All right. So you go back to the village and you head towards the home of the heroes. And down in the village, things remain as you expected them. There's the people have moved towards the central part of the village and put up their barriers and barricades. And they've got, everybody's armed, and they've got those large ballistas that they were working on to take care of aerial targets. And, people are moving about, and they shout and whistle and they wave and cheer when they see that you all have returned. You can see the unmistakable form of Nazus down there stomping around on his hooves with his magnificent axe, and he's giving orders and people are jumping to follow. The thing that has changed is that when you reach your home and you look down in the yard, the walled-in section, you see that there's like a mound now, a small mound of broken constructs. and clear signs of ruts in the path, that this is where carts have been bringing these constructs and dumping them because they don't have anywhere else to put them. Nothing else seems to have changed.
We have a wealth of adamantium now.
But you come to a landing in the yard outside the barn, and Folwin's out there, and he's Folwin, so he like, welcome back.
Been set for you, sir.
Welcome back, my lords. There's food is ready, and I'll see to the rocks. He's got like 4 people. Somehow he found or made uniforms for them to match his own. And they have the insignia of the heroes. And you don't recognize them, probably from the new groups that have showed up, but they work for him now, and so he starts giving them orders and stuff. So he tells them, we practiced this, so the rocks will need to be taken care of, and I'll expect you all to see to that. And they're like looking at these rocks, and they're like terrified out of their minds. But luckily, the Gyre, the most motherly of the rocks, she starts talking to him, which freaks him out immediately. But she's like, "We're not going to hurt you, and we can be friends or whatever." And so and then Folwin says, "There's meals are ready. You'll need to recover your strength." And he starts heading towards the home, and
he's just like always scrying on us or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "It's been quite exciting here. Many attacks have come, but we've managed to hold them off." Up at the home on the porch outside the front door, you see Mudsway standing there, and he's sort of leaning against the post there, waiting for you. And he looks a little worn.
Mm.
He looks a little tired, and he clearly has seen battles because he's got some bandages or whatever. But Folwin says that Mudsway's helped him repel some invaders who've tried to sneak over the walls and attack the home. So he's there. And so that's pretty much all you see as he leads you towards the home, and where he says he has food prepared. So then he reports to you that, the attacks keep coming, and some people have reported that they've sighted a massive airship out over the ocean, but he hasn't seen it himself, and people are starting to, he thinks that somebody ought to tell people to stop reporting everything they think they see, because it's scaring people, and we don't need that right now. But anyway, that's pretty much all he says as he leads you back towards the home. So now you know that you've got dragons breaking through the barrier to the west, and a large airship is coming from the south, and then from the north and northeast you saw some bands of constructs and humans approaching on foot towards the village. Looking back before you head inside, looking out over the angry mountain, you see movement that catches your eye. The fog and the mist and the steam has parted, and you can see to the peak where now there is a massive walled city on that very peak. It seems like somehow you've been given an unnatural vision to be able to see this from where you are. And so you're looking at it as if you were just, 100 feet away rather than all these miles. But this city has finally reached its proper place. And so the machinery that drove it there has stopped, and the mountain has generally stopped shaking. You can see on many parts of the snowy peaks now, lava is pouring out from crevices or holes on the side of the mountain, and it's running down and melting snow and ice as it does before it hardens and drops out of sight below. And Casimir, you catch one glimpse of Tarcellus floating high in the air, far above that city, before he disappears. And Fenrith and Casimir, you both get this image in your mind of Corellon and Tarcellus joined together now working on that barrier. And it seems to you, based on the strength you feel coming from those two deities, that no more dragons are likely to be pushing their way through. So that will be the end of this particular branch, this particular season. And when we finally return to these heroes, we'll be joining them as they at least attempt to defend their home from utter annihilation by the evil dragon forces from the west or the evil human forces from parts unknown. So when we pick it back up again, we'll be excited to see everybody join us. Thanks for playing.
Thanks,
Thank
Brad.
you,
thanks,
B.
man. A lot
Thank you,
of
Brandon.
fun.
Oh, man.
Yeah, all right. So game session over. What do you guys think?
I liked it. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Ah.
So you guys feel like you're under...
This has been a Death Watch production. Thank you for listening.